There are various ways to install Python on your computer. But if you are a new Python user, it is highly recommended to install Anaconda. Anaconda will not only install Python, but also the Jupyter Notebook app, as well as many packages for scientific computing and data science. Let's open www.anaconda.com and click on the download button on the home page. You must pick one of the three operating systems, Windows, Mac, or Linux. In this lesson, I will show you how to install Anaconda on Windows, but the procedure is identical for Mac or Linux. Please keep in mind that, just as any other online service, Anaconda are constantly updating their products and website. So, even if their interface looks slightly different, the functionalities are likely to remain the same. That said, you must then choose one of the four provided options. Which version do you need to install, Python 2 or 3? Do you need a 32-bit or a 64-bit version? The latter will depend on the Windows version you are running. Before we proceed, I'd like to quickly clarify something you might have found curious. Why are there two versions of Python in maintenance at the same time? Well, Python 2 came along first, obviously, and established itself as a very solid programming language in the fields of business, finance, and statistics. It has done its fair share of faithful service, and Python 3 is even better. That's why, during the past few years, the idea has been to switch to using the newer version of the language. The reason for this is that Python 3 has certain advantages that can improve coding, especially in large corporations and professional environments. Looking into these advantages in greater detail, though, is way beyond the scope of this course. In terms of syntax, there are just a few little differences between Python 2 and 3, and we will outline them to you in just a couple of lectures. So, which version should you install? We suggest you install Python 3. It is the newer version and has superior support. Also, by choosing this option, you will be better prepared for the Python version in which you will be coding in the future. Moreover, some packages such as TensorFlow are compatible only with Python 3. Nonetheless, if you have a good reason to install Python 2, please refer to the relevant video in a few lectures and just stick to the syntactical differences explained there. Something to remember is that notebook files for each Python version have been attached to the introductory lectures about Python. After that point, however, the videos you watch are recorded in Python 3 only, so notebook files for Python 2 are not provided. Just remember that when you're using the notebook files, you need to use the ones stored in the folder that corresponds to the version you've installed. For example, if you access the resources to the lecture on variables and you click on the folder called Python 2, you will see notebook files that will run on Python 2 directly. In the same manner, if you go back and select the Python 3 folder, you will only encounter files that are suitable for working with Python 3. Don't forget that we have kept to this principle throughout the course. It is valid for all introductory lectures about Python. And please, don't pay too much attention to whether you are installing Python 2.6 or 2.7 or 3.6 or 3.7. Newer versions are constantly being released, so the first digit is the only one that matters. Think of it as just Python 2 or 3. Whenever there may be compatibility issues, we will have provided an article with step-by-step instructions on how to deal with them. Having said that, let's go back to the installation process. When you are choosing between a 32 or a 64-bit version, you can simply check your operating system. Newer computers are most likely running with 64-bit processors, but if you would like to clarify this before you begin, you could easily do that. First, open your control panel menu from the Start window. Then, select System, and check the information referring to the system type. In my case, it is 64-bit, so when I go back to the Anaconda website, I will select the 64-bit Python 3 version, reminding you that the installation process is analogical for Python 2 or a 32-bit version. Then, you must find a directory where to install the distribution and press Save. When the download has finished, run the application. What follows is nothing different from the standard Windows installer. Agree and press Next until you have the chance to specify a destination folder. You could do this after clicking on the Browse button. When satisfied with the indicated directory, click Next one more time. Then follow the suggestions made by the installer. For instance, I will tick the second option only. Finally, click Install and wait until you've been told the operation is complete. That's basically all we needed to install. So I'll skip and untick any suggestions I see after this moment, and will then click on Finish. What you just installed is the whole Anaconda distribution, the Python language, a text editor, mini applications, and packages. You also have the Jupyter Notebook app. You can open the Start menu and select the respective icon from there. A new window will pop up. It will take a few seconds for the app to load. Once this is done, your web browser will open a new tab with the Jupyter dashboard. Bear in mind that there's an alternative for starting Jupyter. You can open the Anaconda Navigator app, which will lead you to all software tools that come with the Anaconda distribution. We are focused on Jupyter only, so if I click on the relevant Launch button, I will once again open a new tab in my web browser. In our next video, we'll study the dashboard in more detail and learn how to use Jupyter. See you there! Thank you for watching.